Okay, so basically, I wanted to take you through an example of how to price. Look, I normally do some road construction a lot, so this is a project that I priced in around 2015, whereby you've got all you can see all those sheets there at the bottom. This is normally like a Colto standard, if everyone knows. But anyways, like. So concrete block paving for roads, under concrete block paving, you see on the description, your BOQ would look exactly like this. Now, what happens is you send your supplier this description so that they can give you a quotation on an 80 millimeter thick laid block paving. You know, this is just some interlocers that you purchase from the concrete block manufacturer. So they'll send you a code, and then after they send you a code, then you actually input your materials component here. So you see, for me, I normally use Excel because Excel is quite versatile. You can do like almost everything in Excel. Actually, Excel is an engineer's friend. So yeah, so they, as you can see, on the price that I got from the supplier, it was like 72 rand 50 per square meter, and then the 10 rand 80 cents. This is the transport rate, right? And then I also put in like a small percentage of like wastage, you know, just to get to there. So as you see, as long as you allow for your material cost, right, then you're all right. Then you're fine. You understand? And then obviously when you're gonna, I know most of you are asking yourselves what is this 173.4 and blah blah blah. This is your river sand. You cannot lay your paving. So when they do this description, this is including 20 millimeter river sand, 30 millimeter river sand, whatever the case may be, whatever engineer wants, or 25, whatever. So you work out your river sand as well under your materials component, right? So after doing your materials component, there you've got your cost, right? You've allowed for everything on your materials. Then you move on to your labor, right? Your labor, you have to work it out depending on your production rate, on your daily rate. Normally about 10 guys will give you like, say, 100 squares, and then you calculate the labor rate in 2015. I can't remember how much it was. I think it was in the range of 150, 200 rand, but that's irrespective of the point. Then you find out from SAIS or the municipality or your councillors normally would tell you how much you should pay the labor workers. But remember, when you're doing your labor rate, you have to include the skilled labor, like the guy who paves for you. You obviously pay at a higher rate, like 20 rand or 50 rand more than the normal unskilled labor. So then you put your labor component there. And then you go to your plant. Your plant, you see, for me, my plan, when I work it out in Excel, like my excavator, I immediately include the diesel there. So you can see here, at the time, the rate of the excavator was 320 rand per hour, you know. And then it would work for 9 hours. And then, as you can see, this is the diesel. I would allow for like 100 liters of diesel for an excavator per day, you know. And then the rate at that time was 11 rand 50 for the diesel. So in paving, you don't normally use that much plant, you know. You would only need to maybe allow for obviously your bobcat and your blade compactor. And then you see my daily production was 150. So you need to convert all your costs into the daily cost. That is what's important. So your plant should be daily, your labor should be daily, your material should always be daily as well. And then when you break down your rate, right, you have to divide your production, right, into your daily cost so that you get your cost per square meter. So per square meter, my labor is going to cost me 45 rand per square meter. Remember, this was in 2015. It might be different now. And then your plant, it would cost me 14 rand per square meter. And then my material would be about 95 rand, including delivery to site. But if you want, you can spread it out, like I said on my spreadsheet, that put your transport cost, put your your fuel cost as well. Then my markup, because I put 12.5%, then you see my markup per square meter is 19 Rand 34 to cover all the costs like overheads, blah blah blah, all those things that you need to cover that are not your direct costs. You put them in here, and obviously I'm not talking about the P's and G's. So in a nutshell, if an engineer comes and says, give me a new rate for paving, you go to your material supplier, get 3 quotations. Obviously, you want to use the cheapest, and then from there, you get your labor rate, the one that you'll be paying your labor on site. You know, you have to remember your supervisors, your gang leaders, and your other guys. And then lastly, your plant, your plant component, your blade compactors, and please don't put in some wheelbarrows and spades and stuff like that. So obviously those things you can either allow for them on your P's and G's, because you only buy them once. So you can't allow them for every item in a BOQ, then you allow them. So thank you guys. If you've got any questions, just pop them in under the comments section on YouTube. And thank you very much for listening. I hope this is going to be valuable.
Huh.